Looks like we still have a few people filtering in. I'm looking at the attendees list right now, so we'll wait another minute or two before we get started. All right, I think we can go ahead and get started. Is everybody ready to go?
Sure.
Great. Well, I just want to thank everyone for being here and taking time out this evening to join us for this meeting, and our daycare directors and teachers and program managers who are here with us. Thank you so much for coming, and just thank you for everything that you've done for our students. This is a very unique beginning to the school year. It's been challenging for everyone, and so we just really appreciate you taking such an interest in supporting and helping our kids, opening your daycares this year for school-age children, and just really supporting them and helping them and getting through this challenging online learning that we're doing. So we're hoping that this session tonight will be helpful to you and informative. We're going to start in a few minutes just by introducing ourselves, and if you have questions throughout the presentation, please, if you have the option to put it in the comments box, that would be great. Or you can use, there's a hand raise option, I think. I'm not familiar with all the features on Zoom, but we will get your questions answered. So, use the hand raise or comment box, and we'll open it up for questions at the end as well. I'm going to screen share in just a second here. So while I'm getting that set up, I'll introduce myself. My name is Brianna Angelucci, and I am the elementary curriculum supervisor for Norristown. And can people see my screen? I feel like it's not sharing.
It's loading.
Okay. So while that's loading, we have some other people here with us this evening. If you could introduce yourselves, if you don't mind. So,
hello, I'm Dr. Williams, the Assistant Superintendent. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Stephanie Coe. I'm the principal of the Musselman Learning Center. Thanks for coming tonight.
Hello, I'm Lisa Lumpkin. I'm instructional support teacher at Gottwalls.
You're on mute, Dina.
Whoops, sorry about that. I was on mute. Dana Domenico, instructional support teacher at Gottwalls and Whitehall Elementary.
I'm Lynn Cruson. I'm the instructional support teacher at Whitehall and Paul Fly Elementaries.
I'm Lana Womack. I can't see everyone, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My name is Tara Rebb. I'm the instructional support teacher for Musselman and Cole Manor.
I'm Lana Womack. I'm the counselor at Musselman Learning Center.
Was that everybody?
Leo.
Sorry, yes, I'm Leo DeRosier. I'm supervisor of information systems at the Norristown School District.
Thank you. Is my screen sharing now?
It is.
Awesome. So thank you again for coming to our meeting this evening. Very quickly, what we want to go over this evening, our agenda. So we just went through introductions. We're going to talk a little bit about our student schedules and what that looks like for the Norristown elementary students. discuss the programs that we use a little bit so that you're familiar kind of just with what you might be seeing on the student screens when they're going through their lessons during the day. A few tips for student testing when they're doing one-on-one testing with their teacher. Communication, and then questions and answers at the end. And as I mentioned, as we're going through this, you can type your questions in the comments or use the hand raise feature, and we'll try to get to everybody. So we actually recently updated our kindergarten schedule. So that's the first one that I wanted to share with all of you. We adjusted the times a little bit, and we also moved the lunch time. So kindergarten lunch is actually a little bit different now than grades 1 through 4. But they start their day in homeroom at 9 o'clock. So this is when they're logging on to their Chromebooks, and their teacher's going to be taking attendance and just giving any general announcements. So the first 20 minutes, that's what you would be seeing with the kids. And then after that, they go through their day. Each student, depending on what building they're in, might have a different schedule as far as the order of their classes. So they might have math first, or they might have ELA. It just depends on the school building that they're in and what grade they're in. Well, for kindergarten, you know, it would be similar for the building, but it depends what building they're in. And then, as I mentioned, we moved lunch to 12:20. Throughout that time in the morning, you will see students occasionally being given a break by the teacher in between subject areas, or when they're transitioning between tasks. So during that time, we have asked the teachers to put something up on the screen so that it's clear that the kids are going to be on a break. So if you see students up walking around or out of their seats, that would be why. So to make it easier for you, at daycare, we have asked the teachers to put some kind of either countdown or a timer, or even just a picture that kind of indicates that class is having like a 5-minute break, so that you're aware what's going on when you're looking over at the screen. After lunch in the afternoon, we have asynchronous time with the students. So we'll talk a little bit more on the next couple of slides about what asynchronous time looks like and what that means and what the kids should be doing. But basically in the afternoon, it's not necessarily direct teacher-led instruction the way that you would see in the morning. It's going to be more independent work. Does anyone else on my team have anything to add to the kindergarten schedule before I move on? Okay. So then our students in grades 1 through 4 have a similar schedule, but the timing is a little bit different. So they're starting the day at 9 o'clock as well, just like the other students. So again, this is when they would be logging into their Chromebooks and just getting into their class page with their teacher. And then throughout the morning, they have, again, that synchronous instruction, and this will vary by grade level and by what school they're enrolled in, as far as the order of their classes, but they will have that live instruction with their teacher in the mornings. Lunch is from 11:35 to 12:05. And then grades 1 through 4 come back after lunch for 2 more periods of synchronous learning. So that's a big difference between kindergarten and then the older kids. So they will be logging back in for that live instruction at 12:10. And then later in the afternoon, just like kindergarten, they have that asynchronous time starting at 1:40. So this is the time, again, when they would be doing more independent work or small groups. Does anyone have anything to add for grades 1 through 4?
We have one hand raised, but I think they put it down.
Oh. See, I don't see that feature on my screen. I'm so sorry.
It'll be hard to see while presenting. So if you want, you can always go through the presentation and then answer the questions at the end.
Okay.
Did it again. We just wanted to go over synchronous versus asynchronous expectations. We realize that every setting is different for the students and what your capabilities and considerations are going to vary from facility to facility. But we just wanted to share with you some of the things that we're sharing with families and the students to let you know sort of what our expectations are. So during the real-time instruction with teachers and with the teacher and their classmates, obviously as quiet a setting as possible is ideal. If that's not possible, and obviously in many situations it's not, then headphones are a great resource. We do have extras at many buildings, so if you find students that need headphones and you don't have them, that would be something to maybe reach out to us about. Making sure that the students are logged in and set up and ready to go, by 8:55. Something as simple as making sure their cameras are turned on and the microphones are turned off, so that they're ready to be a part of the classroom. Physically, setting them up so that they are maybe away from others or have some distance, or even the use of study carrels. Even sometimes in class we'll use folders to kind of give them the feeling of being in a little more private of a situation. And then making sure that every day they have their materials with them. And we know since they're going from home to childcare, that can sometimes be difficult, and especially if they're transitioning between different homes as well. So that is some suggestions. For the asynchronous time, when they are working in the afternoon on their own, we wanted you to know that they are expected to be working during this time. This isn't an optional time. It is a time when they are expected to be engaged in various programs that we're going to be going over with you in a little bit in this presentation. They might be involved in small groups. Again, we mentioned that before. Brianna mentioned that with their teachers. They may be doing one-on-one testing, which I know many of you are seeing right now. They're doing their Ames, Web, and Dibbles testing one-on-one with teachers, paras, ISTs as well. So they may need help with that. They may need help logging on, getting to those times that are set up during their asynchronous time, being a part of their small groups. And then we're encouraging, the child to reach out to the teacher if they need any help with any assignments or are struggling in any way during those times.
On this page, we have our programs to know about, and one of the biggest ways to help our students is to make sure that they're always logged into ClassLink. And through ClassLink, they'll be able to access most of the other programs that they either need to use during synchronous or asynchronous time. So here you see just a few of the icons that you may see when you log in. The ClassLink symbol, McGraw-Hill, which will take them both to Wonders, which is the reading series that the students use, as well as My Math. And so for them to be able to access their materials and the links that they'll be using through Google Classroom, they will need to be both logged into ClassLink and McGraw-Hill to easily access these without having to use additional passwords or without being kicked off or timed out. A lot of times during asynchronous time, the students might be using IXL to work independently, and they'll read independently on Epic, which are books that they can read on their own or can be read to them, and teachers assign independent work during this time for them on Epic. Are there any other programs that they really might need to use during this time? There's foundations for the lower grades, but they'll have, or they should have, materials with them. None of that is actually online for the students. The teachers may have materials that they share with them during synchronous time, but they'll have, workbooks and materials to use with them that they should be carrying back and forth.
Eventually, they may use Smart Futures, which would be another icon.
Okay.
Like how you have it shown there.
Students are right now going through individual student testing. These are district assessments. I have tested students that are in daycare, and when they have the headphones on, it is much easier for them to focus. I know that was mentioned earlier. The assessments that they're currently taking in kindergarten through 4th grade, they're taking Ames Web Math, and that is on the computer. So it should be quiet for them to do that, to concentrate. And in grades K 1 and 2, they're taking an assessment called Acadians or Dibbles. That is one-on-one with their teacher. Grades 3 and 4 also take Ames Web reading assessments. It is really important that the students do these independently with no support or help. As Dana had mentioned earlier, they might need help actually logging into the assessment, and we're available to help you with that if you need it. We can talk to you on the phone and help talk you through that. But we want to see what the students know. Sometimes we know when the students had help because their data shows them higher than what we're seeing as their performance in the classroom. And really, we want to baseline what they know at this point. A quiet place is ideal, if possible, and they might need help logging in. The 2nd through 4th graders may be taking the whole class version of the assessment at the same time, but same expectations of a quiet place and perhaps help logging in and no help.
I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure who was speaking on this slide, so I'll jump in. So communication is very, very important, obviously, between everybody involved, especially kids going back and forth between a daycare center and home, or possibly multiple homes. Certainly if you're seeing anything during the day while they're in your care, as far as academic or behavior concerns, just like you would with any of your other students, you know, the first place to go is to communicate with the student's parents. You know, if you're just noticing, you know, that they're struggling with something during the day with their teacher, or, you know, specific math problems that they were having during the day, just communicating that with the parents so that then they can either follow up with the teacher or with their child. During the day while the students are logged on, if there's you know, something immediate that's kind of a general classroom question that you have, you could certainly ask the teacher while the student is logged on. You know, just a simple, you know, hey, we don't see this icon on our computer, or we're, you know, we're having trouble finding what you're asking the student to do. So any kind of general question about what the students should be working on at that moment during the day, the teacher is there, you know, through Google Hangouts that you could ask for clarification. For any general information from our district, the best way to kind of keep up to date with what's going on would be on our website, and also the individual schools' websites, our district Facebook and Twitter page. All of that stuff is, you know, public and accessible to anyone. So, you know, if there's any general district updates, you would be able to find those things there. So again, just keeping those lines of communication open between everybody, and sharing any concerns that you have with parents. And we actually have parent meetings set up in the near future where we would be encouraging them to do the same, to reach out to the daycare centers and the teachers. So if we can keep communication open with everybody, it just makes it smoother for our students.
I just wanted to add quickly that the work that they're assigned to do during their asynchronous time is practice and review of what they've already done during synchronous time. It should be work that they are able to do independently.
Thank you. So at this time, we're going to open it up for questions. Leo, I'm not sure how to moderate that from Zoom because I've never done it before. So if you're still on the call with us and you know how to answer
That's
when
fine. I can.
that would be really helpful.
Yep. So we have a hand raised by Jennifer Quelly. You're allowed to speak, so you can unmute. There you go.
Hello, I just was wondering, since this is being recorded, where I would access the recording so I can share it with my teachers.
The recordings of these get posted on the NASD Zoom YouTube page. I'll see if there's a way that Ms. Angelucci can send the link out directly to you once it's posted.
That would be awesome.
I can try to pull it off of the YouTube page and then send it out in an email to all of you.
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure.
And as of right now, there's no other hands raised. If anybody wants to speak, there's a raise hand option, I believe, in the lower right corner.
Everyone's quiet today. If you don't have questions, that's great. But if you do, please feel free.
Would the daycare directors be willing to let us know how things are going?
We have a hand.
Yeah, we do have one. Here we go.
Hey, how are you, everyone? My name is Divij. I'm assistant director at Valley Forge Children's Academy. I just wanted to say, I know you had asked for feedback from the directors and all. The teachers have been doing a fabulous job. We have Mrs. Lunny, Mrs. Pollock, and Miss McLaughlin, and they've been doing an amazing job keeping the kids engaged. Most of the kids are pretty self-motivated. It's kind of amazing to watch them figuring out Google Classroom this fast when even I'm struggling with it sometimes. So, but that's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for everything you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Okay.
You have another hand? Oh, I figured out how to make this work. I think I can do this. Okay.
Shelley, you can unmute yourself. Oh, did she leave?
No, she's here.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Dad. Hi, everybody. This is Denise. I'm at the Montgomery County OIC location. And
Hello.
we, of course, have been having problems with connecting. We figured out a couple things so that we can get the students on. But what do we need to do to let the teachers know that they're not absent? Because actually our students get here at 7:30. So they're already in the building, but we've got a couple parents have texted us through our ProCare saying the teacher just called and said my student's being marked absent. So what do I do to correct that?
Mrs. Ash, do you have the teacher's contact information?
I don't have all of them. We do have the schedule. Like Morgan just told me, we need the updated schedule with the times. So I know, especially our kindergarten kids, because we're having, trying to work with them a little more. But I don't have all of the contact information. So we're actually reaching out to the parents and having them call you, and then they're calling us back.
Okay. Yeah, it's important that we get that information to you, or at least, make sure that the parents are letting you know, or you can let them know so that they're communicating with us. It's just a matter of opening up that line of communication. So
right. Yeah, otherwise, I mean, we have we did have one teacher that sent the schedules out, so we know what was missing for one of the first graders. Because if we don't know and we're looking at it, you know, we try to pull up their schedules, but we don't have them. We don't know what to help them work on. And I do have 4 people here, and we're getting 2 Cabrini students. So we'll have the backup. We just don't know what to look at when they don't bring it in. So we had asked all of this, the parents to send us their schedules, so that would help us to work with the student to make sure that the teachers are getting completed assignments back.
Did you get those schedules?
I only got 3 or 4.
What schools are you working with?
With schools,
Yes.
we have Eisenhower, we have one of yours, we have a East Norton Middle School, and I think we have a Marshall Street. So those are the ones I can think of right. Oh, Hancock. We have about our max. I think we're at 30. We have 30 kids.
Okay.
So I don't know if Leo knows if the hotspots came in or not, because we're waiting for at least one hotspot. The 8 Verizon ones work. The Sprint ones are awful. So we're waiting at least for one new hotspot so we can do a better connection in the morning. So, but those are the schools we have. I can pick up. What other school?
Hancock, Got Walls,
Oh, Got Walls, she said too.
Eisenhower,
I got
East
those.
Norton.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
kindergarten. Can you
Okay.
ask about the schedule again?
She's going to send us the schedule.
All right.
We can reach out to those schools, and there's representatives from many of those schools on this call, so we'll make sure that we get those schedules to you.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Leo, do you want to talk about the hotspots?
They are arriving in small batches. Be nice just to have gotten them in a single shipment, but Verizon's getting them all together and getting them over to us. We're working with the management portal for them now to make sure that they're all programmed properly. So, I mean, I'm hoping by the end of the week they can be ready. If not, by Monday.
So
Okay.
in the
The rest of them arrive.
I was going to say, in the meantime, when the parents reach out to you, can you ask the parents to send a talking point to the teacher, so at least the teacher can make note that there's a connection issue?
Good. Yeah, we would do that. Actually, we enrolled in that Pro Care, which allows the parents to reach us directly through a text, and the staff can see it, and we can get back in touch with you. So
Right.
we do have that service that they can. That's how we were notified that teachers were saying that their kids weren't signed on. They would be marked as absent, so we responded back.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, if there's anything we should be doing different, as long as the teachers just reach out to us. Courtney Jackson is our education director, but the staff here are mostly students themselves, you know, in college or, you know, whatever. So they're willing to help whenever they can, but if we don't know, you know, we can't do it, so.
I think what you shared is helpful. Then we'll make, ways of communicating with you all when there's no connection. Still, we'll make sure, reach out as far as what the
Yeah.
kids can do.
And I'm glad to hear the kindergarten schedule will change, because I was going to mention the kindergartners. We have had to pull them away to give them a break. I mean, you know, we had the one little one just put his head down and said, I've been at this for 9 hours. I can't no more. And it was only an hour into the day. But, you know, we have just pulled them off the screen, have them stretch and whatever. So if any of the teachers see our kids doing something a little crazy, it's just a break time. It's just a stretching or, you know, moving to get them focused again. That's what we can do with those little ones, because it's a lot for them.
That's a great idea.
Well, we actually appreciate that, because we have made those suggestions, because we do have some kids. I mean, most of the kids do get extra breaks, but some need additional breaks than the extra breaks that they do.
Yes.
So the teachers understand. Thanks for sharing that.
Is there anyone else who would like to share some feedback or ask any questions?
I just would just like to add, just as a reminder, just hoping that once the daycare providers receive information as far as the teachers, that, you know, just feel comfortable that you can communicate with the teachers throughout the day. We don't know parents' schedules. Some probably can't really respond as fast with their phones or whatever, but the teachers are open, and other numbers on the school website. On each school's website, they have a contact person. Hi, Ms. Scurry.
Hi. So I'm from Crayon Kids, but a general email that I don't know if all of the teachers have it, but we created a general email for any of the teachers that have concern, whether it just be something that we should be doing or something that we missed. So I don't know if I could get that to anyone's, you know, on here. So we have Gottwalls, Eisenhower, Whitehall, I believe. I think Whitehall, but Paul Fly. So we have several of the schools, but if they need to reach us, we also gave the parents access to our Remind, but I don't know if that's an option for the teachers to be able to contact us directly. So it's like a text messaging system, which I'm sure most of you may be familiar with, but you know, that's just another way of maybe helping out to get faster communication between us and the teachers. There's several of us that access that email, just so that there's an extra eye be able to catch something that's being sent over. So I don't know if the Remind is an option for the teachers, but our parents have given us permission to be able to have contact with the teachers directly.
Could you please make sure that the parents notify the school as well that they've granted permission? It's best to
Yes.
do it in writing.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Mrs. Lumpkin, do you see any more hands?
Ms. Scurry, do you have another question or comment, or? Okay, no.
Okay.
I don't see any other hands.
Okay. Mrs. Angelucci, do you want to close this out?
Sure. So I just want to thank all of you again for taking time out of your evening. I know that 5 o'clock is a busy pickup time at a lot of daycares as well. So thank you again so much for coming. We really appreciate your feedback, your questions, and just your engagement with the school process this year. It's, as I mentioned earlier, it's challenging for everybody, but we just really, really appreciate your support so much. And we're here to help and offer our support back and answer questions. So, you know, please feel free to continue to reach out if you have any questions after we leave this evening that you think of. And thank you also to my team that's here this evening in helping give this presentation and support our students.
Thank you for all you do for our students.
Yes,
We
thank you.
appreciate you.
Yes, we absolutely do. And please, if anything comes up as we move through this, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You know, we need to be connected, and we need to all be, you know, working together as a team if we're going to get through this successfully. So again, thank you so much for what you are doing for our students. Believe me, we know that this is challenging, and we do appreciate everything that you're doing.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for your partnership. Thank you to the team, Mrs. Angelucci, ISTs, Ms. Cole, thank you for your presentation and supporting our community to make sure that our students are experiencing the best quality education that we could possibly provide under these circumstances. So great job, team.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Right.